Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, we're surrounded by books. That means one of two things. We either have a book haul or a book recommendation video. Today it is a book recommendation video. So I'm doing sports romances, which I actually can't believe I haven't done that before. So we're gonna do a nice little collection of them. This one is hockey, this is racing, this is soccer, and she's a ballerina, and this one is rugby. A nice little mix. And some of these are some faves of mine, and I was like, I can't believe I haven't recommended these before, but I guess because, you know, I've never done a sports romance, I just wasn't thinking about it. So that's what we have for us today. Also, if you notice, oh, it's not supposed to be like that, but it's like falling forward. So I rotate it so it doesn't pop out like this. But I redid my bookshelves. I don't know if you can notice. I redid all of them. Obviously you can't see all of them, but yeah, because I got some more books and I needed to just organize them. So they're a bit changed, but still the overall vibe. So I just had to point that out in case you didn't notice. Okay, now we are going to jump in with our recommendations. And all of these are the start to a series. Usually when I recommend the first book in the series, I'm also recommending the entire series. Now, some of these I have not finished reading the series, and then some of these, the other books in the series, have not all come out yet. So first, we're doing The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. This is the start to a series. It's also a spin-off from a different series, which you can't see them, but Elle Kennedy has two other hockey series that she did before this one, and this series is a spin-off that focuses on the kids from the other two hockey series. So for an optimal reading experience, it would make more sense to read the other two hockey series than start with this one, because it does mention characters from the previous series. I did that and I thoroughly enjoyed it. There's only 3 books in this series. They are all out. I have not finished reading the series. I do have them, but this is only 3 books, and I'm not sure if she's going to do another series and extend on an expansion of the original characters. There we go. You feel this too, don't you? His eyes are on mine, dark blue and bottomless. Yeah, I feel it. Gigi Graham has exactly 3 goals: qualify for the women's national hockey team, win Olympic gold, and step out of her famous father's shadow. So far, so good. Except for 2 little things. Fine. A little thing and a big grumpy thing. She needs to improve her game behind the net, and she needs help from Luke Ryder. Ryder is a 6'5" built, opinionated, rude, and sexy as hell, but he's still the enemy. Briar's new hockey co-captain has his reasons though. The men's team just merged with a rival program, leaving Ryder with an angry roster, and everyone hates one another's guts. To make matters worse, the summer coaching spot he's angling for with the legendary Garrett Graham is out of his reach after he makes the worst possible first impression on his hero. So really, this compromise with Gigi is a win-win. He helps her make the national team. She puts in a good word with his dad. The only potential snag, this bone-deep, body-numbing, mind-spinning chemistry they're trying to ignore. It's a dangerous game they're playing, but the risk just might be worth it. So Garrett Graham is from the original series. His book is great. Actually, side note, that series is getting a TV show made about them. Just put that in there. But Garrett is our male main character from the first book in the original series. And then we go to his daughter. So it's, the entire series is hockey. So if you don't like hockey, it might not be for you, but I would definitely say tune in because there's other things as well. But if you can't guess, we have an enemies to lovers here. And they're entering a mutual beneficial agreement where Gigi is going to get the help she needs so she can check off her goals, and then Ryder is going to get what he needs from her so he can work with her dad, because you know he's big shot, big time now. But obviously along the lines it's going to be drama because they don't like each other. It's just, from the start, it just wasn't a good impression. Gigi is dealing with her own problems, which are kind of like personal and a little bit in the family, because she's trying to step out of her father's shadow. Since she followed in his footsteps and did hockey, every time she does something, it's ultimately in comparison to her father, and she's trying to not let that get her down and trying to make a name for herself, but it's kind of hard when her dad is big time. Her mom is too. She's a singer, but she's getting compared to her dad because they're in the same sport. And Ryder, he has his own problems as well, personal and professional, for the hockey team. So the program got merged, the one from Briar U and then another school. Both hockey teams are now put on one team, but because they also had, I don't know how many people are on a hockey team, but say like they had 7 and the other school had 7, now they have 14. You can't have that many. So they're merging these teams, but they're also making people who have previously tried out to be on the hockey team do it again. But because Ryder is like very good, he's not really questioning if he's going to be on the team. He's like a leader, but it's causing problems because they have been rivals before. It's enemies. It's not good. But now they have to be a cohesive team because a lot of them want to go pro and so forth. And in order to do that, they need to do well at college. So a lot of personal problems, professional problems. And while they're in this kind of agreement, they start to realize they're more alike than they originally thought, and they can relate to some of the problems they've both been having personally with each other. And then that kind of becomes a shoulder to lean on, and then things stem from there. And Ryder is trying to tread carefully because he's already made a bad impression on Garrett, Gigi's dad, but he's starting to like Gigi, and that's just gonna add another element of problems with Garrett. And he doesn't want that because, again, he's trying to further his future. And if he can get this position in working with Garrett, that does help him. And Gigi is also on the fence about starting something with him because her goals, you know, she's trying to get to the Olympics, she's trying to do this and that, and she feels that if she strays away from hockey and starts putting focus in a relationship, that's gonna destroy her reaching her goals. But as you can see, she's kind of thick, but it's so good. It's my favorite in the series. Just like Gigi's parents one was my favorite in their series. It's so good. It's amazing. And there's a little twist that happens in the book. So good. I don't want to say it because it spoils it, because it wasn't really expected when you started this book that it was going to happen, and then it does happen, and it just makes everything fall into place. I'm telling you, Ryder and Gigi, love them. So I would say, you know, I really enjoyed this one. I would think if you enjoyed this one, you're also going to enjoy the rest of the series. And again, this entire series is out. Okay, moving on, we have Throttled by Lauren Asher. So this is a racing series. This is also the newly published version where it has, I'm blanking on what this is called, but I believe all of the books in this series have now been republished. It's 4 books. I have not finished reading the series 1 because I was trying to wait for all of them to get republished so I can have them matching. So yeah, but I have books 1 and 2. Thoroughly enjoy the racing NASCAR vibe. So good. Noah. Maya, hopefully I said this right, Alorturi is the sister of my teammate and my new obsession. Keeping my distance during the Formula One season should be easy, except I always find ways to see her. Press tours, pre-race rituals, sponsor events, and black tie galas. The more time we spend together, the stronger my desire grows. Sneaking around with her is one thing, but wanting more, never going to happen. She might be a distraction, dressed like a daydream, but no woman is worth risking the championship title over. Or so I thought. Maya. Noah Slade is Formula One royalty and my brother's biggest rival. When I'm invited to join my sibling while he competes for the world championship, I promise to avoid Noah at all costs. 21 races, 2 drivers who hate each other, and 1 forbidden attraction I can't ignore. Developing feelings for Noah wasn't part of my plan. But then again, neither was anyone finding out. Turns out the man I was warned about happens to be the one I can't stay away from, even if he breaks my heart once the season comes to an end. I love a forbidden romance, secret romance, because it's always going to lead to drama, and it's so good. So obviously, it's a forbidden romance because Maya likes Noah, and Noah is her brother's rival. You're not supposed to do that. And obviously, if you don't know Formula One racing, so they technically have teams, but Noah is racing for a different team than Maya's brother is racing for. So it's, there's only going to be one winner when you cross the finish line. So they're on opposing teams in that sense. So yeah, it's just not supposed to happen. But also, Maya kind of stumbles upon meeting Noah because she tagged along with her brother, and she's just kind of finished school. She's looking for like an intern or something to do, and she gets this internship with Noah. Obviously, she clears it with her brother first because she's like, I don't want this to kind of get between us, our sibling bond. And he's like, cool, this can further your future, like go for it. So that's how she ends up being in this close proximity with Noah and working with him. And one of the reasons is like Noah liked her, like first attraction. He was like, who is this girl? Want to get to know her type thing. And then he found out what she had a background in, and he actually looked at some of her work before like offering her this internship. And this is helping Noah because he kind of needs a rebrand. So Maya is working on a rebrand for all of his socials to boost him because he did some things in the past. It's kind of poorly reflected on him. And, just trying to boost his social media presence, make him more likable and so forth. So they're spending a lot of time together because of that. And whenever he goes to the races, Maya also has to go because she has to get the content. So it's also a little bit of a work relationship romance as well. And some of these races that they go to, Maya's brother is there as well. So at this point, Maya and Noah have started to have like little late night chats. They're confiding in each other, whatever. At this point, when Maya's brother appears, they have to start acting like there's a distance between them because she doesn't want to let her brother know that she's starting to have feelings with Noah because, it's just supposed to be a work relationship, and they're also rivals. So, obviously Maya's brother wants her to be rooting for him and not his rival. But yeah. So not only do we have these secret relationships, we're also learning things about them that we didn't know from the start because, as I mentioned, Noah did some things to kind of mess with his image. As he starts to get more comfortable with Maya, you start to learn more and more about him and how he kind of ended up in this position to where he needs this rebrand. And I also like how Maya starts to learn more about herself. She's coming into her own after school, like figuring out what she wants to do with her life and furthering her career. And she's learning this while also working with Noah, and she didn't really think that was going to happen because he has this kind of bad image. But it's so good. Thoroughly love this one. I think this one and the second one are kind of tied. I don't have like an ultimate favorite yet. Again, I have not completed the series, so that might change, but this is a great introduction. This is also like one of the first Formula One racing romances I've read, so but you'll love it. You'll love it. It's also kind of a quick read. Well, quicker than the first book, I should. Okay, moving on, we have The Striker by Ana Huang. I absolutely love her. I own every single book she has published. I own it. So this was her breakout into the sports romance genre. Most of her other ones have been kind of like billionaire focused. So she has the King of Sin series, which is still being published. There's going to be 7 books. The 5th book actually just got published last month. Yeah, end of last month. And then she has the Twisted Game series that has 4 books, and I'm blanking on what her other series is called, but she has another series, her first one, that has 4 books. And we broke out into sports. So our male main character is a soccer player, and then our female main character is a ballerina. It's so good. And also, wait for it, because this one has character art. Look at them. So the Barnes & Noble's exclusive edition had this character art in black and white, and then first print run of like the regular deluxe edition had a different picture and color, but I just wanted the Barnes & Noble's exclusive edition, so that's why I got this one. And the next book in the series has already been announced, and it's called The Defender, and it comes out in October, I believe. She's the only woman he wants, and the only one he can't have. Asher Donovan is a living legend, the darling of the Premier League, the arguably greatest footballer in the world. And if you know, depending on where you are in the world, some people call soccer football. So that's why I said soccer, and they're saying football. Same thing. But his reckless antics and recent team transfer have caused much controversy, and when his feud with his rival turned teammate cost him a championship, they are forced to bond during off-season cross-training. Surviving the summer shouldn't be hard until Asher meets the new trainer. She's beautiful, talented, and no matter how hard he tries, he can't take his mind off her. The only problem, she's his rival sister, and completely off limits. Scarlett Dubois is a former prima ballerina whose career was cut short by a tragic accident. Now a teacher at a prestigious dance academy, but still haunted by the ghost of her past, the last thing she wants is to spend the summer cross-training Asher Donovan, of all people. She swore she would never date a footballer, but when her brother leaves town for an emergency, she finds herself thrown into a dangerously close proximity with the gorgeous, charming striker. Training she can deal with, but falling in love, that's out of the question, especially when he's the only person with the power to break her heart. There we have it. Another forbidden romance. We love to see it. So Asher has a just terrible reputation. And with this terrible reputation, it leads him to have to now transfer to a new team, to where he is put in proximity to his rivals. It's a whole thing. But one of the rivals being Scarlett's brother. That's how he then has proximity to Scarlett. So now he's kind of on this team with people who don't really like him. He doesn't really like them. He's fiending with bad press from fans, from the new team he's on, as well as the previous team he was transferred from. He's playing in this game with Vincent. Vincent is Scarlett's brother. Because of their drama, the team lost the championship. So the coach was like, we can't have this. Like, we're supposed to be champions, and here y'all are. Bring your problems to the game. So he says, over the summer, you two specifically need to train together, work it out, whatever. Scarlett gets approached from her prestigious dance school where she works at to teach. She does not know that she's teaching Asher and Vincent. She's just approached with this opportunity, and because she's also kind of like battling with her own issues, she's doing this to kind of work through that. Then it comes about that she now has to train her brother and Asher. She hates Asher. She doesn't hate her brother, but it's kind of like that little sibling thing where she doesn't really want to, but she doesn't really have a choice. Something comes up which leaves Vincent to go away. Asher still has to do the training because the coach says so, and Vincent has spoken to the coach about why he has to leave. That's cleared. So now it's just Scarlett and Asher. Asher has to do this because, you know, kind of like his job is on the line. And Scarlett is doing this because, one, her job asked her to, but two, she's working through some things and this is supposed to help. They start the training at the academy, but then it gets leaked and it's a whole bunch of drama. And remember, Asher has this bad reputation, so it's not really doing good for Scarlett's reputation either, which also doesn't make it good for Vincent's reputation because they are brother and sister, and then Asher and Vincent are teammates. So they end up then moving training to Asher's house, which Asher hooks it up, gets the whole studio together. It's so nice. And Scarlett didn't think he would do something like that. And that's kind of like the first little inkling of where Scarlett starts to see a different side of Asher than what's portrayed in the media. So, of course, you know, we then have private lessons, and which leads them to start learning more and more about one another. You start to understand why Scarlett is no longer a prima ballerina. That's a whole story in itself, which also affects her to this day of the role of being a dance teacher at this prestigious academy. You also learn why Asher kind of got into the situation of why he had to be transferred. I wanted to word that correctly so I don't spoil anything. And why he's getting heat from all sides, the previous fans of the team he used to be on, and then the fans of his now team. And once again, you know, with this forbidden romance, they realize they're more alike than they thought, but I think more so for Scarlett because she's always seen this stuff about Asher in the media, and again, nothing is good that's said about him. So she already went into the training just like keeping my distance from him, whereas it was the opposite. Asher kind of off the bat liked her, that initial attraction. The only thing that made him a little hesitant was finding out Scarlett was Vincent's sister, Vincent being kind of like his rival, and they're trying to work things out. That was the only reason that made Asher hesitant. But even when he found that out, he was still like, you know, I kind of like her, but he was watching what he said because he didn't want to embarrass himself because he likes her and so forth. So it was more of a learning experience, I think, for Scarlett because of everything she thought about Asher. And you come to find out that he's truly just misunderstood, but also like soccer has been his life, and you get into that story as well. Just as Scarlett wanted to, you know, always be a prima ballerina, you learn more about that as well. So, you know, they have a lot of things in common, but then it was like outside voices came and it affected them. So yes, she is pretty thick. I ain't even gonna lie. It was a lot to get into, but I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the next book because it's going to be Vincent, Scarlett's brother. Also, Scarlett and Vincent are adopted. So in the picture, you'll see that Scarlett does not have any color on her skin, and Vincent does. That is also explained in the book. But yeah, another banger. Lastly, we're gonna end with another banger, Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. It's my favorite in the Binding 13 series. Well, it's technically the Boys of Tommen series, but Binding 13 will always be that girl. So again, I have all the other books on my shelf. You can't see them. This focuses on a friend group, and then everyone in the friend group has a relationship, and it is told throughout all of the books. You do have to read all of these in order because it picks up from where the previous book left off. So it's 2 books. Johnny and Shannon are our main characters in Binding 13. And oh my gosh, why am I blanking on the other one? I feel so bad. It's Binding 13 and Keeping 13. Yeah, I was right. Binding 13 and Keeping 13 are Shannon and Johnny. And then books 4 and 5 are about Shannon's older brother Joey and his girlfriend. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is about another friend that knows Johnny and Shannon. And then the next book in this series, 6, is coming out, which is going to be focused on another couple. Apparently, the last couple books in this series, the couples aren't going to get 2 books. They're only getting 1. And then there's hopes of Johnny and Shannon getting another book called Adoring 13, and that's potentially going to end the series. The series is coming to an end, and the numbers are because they play sports, and that's their sports number. Hopefully that made sense when explaining it. But you meet all of the characters that are going to get books in Binding 13. They just become the main character when it's their turn. Hopefully that made sense. He wants to save her. She wants to hide. She's damaged. He's determined. Fate brought them together. Love binds them. Johnny Kavanaugh has everything going for him. On the rugby pitch, he's a force to be reckoned with, even plagued with a hidden injury. Everyone knows he's heading straight for the top, but that means there's no room for mistakes or distractions. Not even the shy new girl at Tommen College, the one with the sad eyes and concealed bruises. He needs to stay focused, keep his cool, and not let anything get in the way of the bigger picture. Except, before he knows it, this lonely girl has become his only picture. Life has never been easy for Shannon Lynch. Bullied and tortured, she arrives at Tommen College midway through the school year, praying for a fresh start and desperate to shake off the demons that plague her. But when she meets the notorious Johnny Kavanaugh on her first day, her plans to keep a low profile are at a serious risk. As they fall into a complicated friendship and grapple with their undeniable chemistry, hidden pain and complicated secrets threaten to be their undoing. But Johnny won't give up on Shannon, no matter what it might cost them both. So it's technically not a college, it is a high school, but I forgot if this is set in, I think this is set in Canada or something. It's set somewhere else to where they use different words, but it's not a college, it is a high school. And that's also like throughout the book, they'll say some things and you'll know what it means, but it just kind of means something different where this is set. Yeah, I truly forgot where this is supposed to take place, but that's why Ireland, no, not Canada. This is set in Ireland, so some things might be a little different, but that's all. And this also, I would say, read the trigger warnings. Out of all the books that I'm recommending, this one is the heaviest. I absolutely adore it though. It's amazing. Love Johnny and Shannon, but it does deal with some heavy topics. So if you feel the need to read the trigger warnings, please read them. They are listed at the start of the book before you get into the book. I personally just don't read trigger warnings, but like I'm saying that for this book, do read the trigger warnings. So Johnny, he's kind of up there in life. He has wonderful parents, he has great friends, he's doing well in rugby. He does have this little injury, but he's trying not to let that stop him from furthering his future in rugby. While Shannon, she comes from a home that's not the most loving. She's been bullied at past schools just for like existing. Like she puts up with that at school as well as at home, but also at home she's trying to help her other siblings. While Shannon isn't the oldest, she's the second oldest. Joey is the oldest, her older brother, of all the siblings, and then they have younger siblings, which is younger brothers. It's 3 of them. So Shannon has a lot going on. She ends up at Tommen because this is supposed to be a fresh start. Something happens at her old school. It's really, really bad. And it causes her to need to go somewhere else. Shannon is the only one out of her siblings to now go to this new school. She's hoping this is a fresh start. She won't have to deal with any bullying. She'll keep her head down, do what she has to do school-wise. Well, on the first day, she actually gets hit in the head by a rugby ball because the rugby team is practicing. And Johnny goes to check on her. It's a really bad injury. She ends up having to go to the nurse, and Johnny goes with her as well. But I think they put her on some type of pain medication or something, so she starts getting a little loopy or whatever. But Johnny stays with her throughout the whole ordeal, and she starts to say some things she probably wouldn't say if she wasn't looped up. But that's when Johnny kind of gets this first glimpse of her, like, who is this girl? Like, what's kind of happening? He starts to then shift his focus from rugby to someone else. That's the start of things. And from that moment, Shannon is a little bit kind of hesitant of Johnny because she does not want to, again, she's coming to school literally to do school. She doesn't want to do anything else, no relationship. She has enough to deal with at home in her personal life. So she's not trying to bring someone else into that. But she appreciates it because it's like Johnny was nice to her on the first day, but she's also noticed that Johnny is a big shot in school. Like, he's involved in rugby. People know his name. He has this great life. She feels like she doesn't want to mess that up. So she tries to kind of keep distance from him, but Johnny doesn't let that happen because, again, Johnny is like enamored with her. He wants to know all about her. He sees that she's shy, she's quiet, she doesn't really hang with anyone, and he starts to try to insert himself in her life. When I tell y'all, this book is honestly an emotional roller coaster, but it is so worth it. Johnny doesn't understand what Shannon is going through in her personal life at the start. He starts getting glimpses more and more, and I think also Johnny starts to put pieces together himself, and that leads to the big secret coming out of what Shannon has been dealing with and kind of involving other people, because Shannon and then her older brother Joey deal with everything at home, but they don't want to involve anyone else because that could potentially mean, you know, all of the siblings get separated and so forth, and they don't want that to happen. So they've kind of also like just bottled up emotions because they want to keep all of the siblings together. And it's so good. I promise you, it's so good. And the series continues with Keeping 13. Although I really enjoy that one, Binding 13 just takes the cake. Johnny does something that it kind of messes with him, but it is to the benefit. Like, I don't want to say it to spoil it, but it makes so much sense of what Johnny does, and it's beautiful of how he did it. But there's a little bit of an outcome after that messes with him and leaves him to start questioning things about him and so forth. But it's so good. Literally, I love Johnny and Shannon. To me, they are the best couple in this Boys of Tommen series. Even if all the books are not out yet, I don't care. No one is ever touching Johnny and Shannon. I love them, and I'm hoping we do get Adoring 13 because I need more of them. They're amazing. And it's not too thick in my opinion. It's on the tamer side, but again, there is a second book, so their story does not end here, it does continue. So those are all of my books that I'm recommending for y'all for the sports romance today. I hope y'all enjoy. And again, these are all the starts to a series. Some series are completed, some are still coming out. So to be completed. Again, read them if they sound interesting. Drop some of your favorite sports romances in the comments below because I'm always looking for more books to read, obviously. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more, please hit the subscribe button down below. Peace and blessings, my loves.